Floozy hit a slender lead. It's Floozy just in front. Scat very late. Floozy's won the Silk Stocking.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop, episode 382, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group as always. Today we will preview our runners for the big Queensland Jewel Raceday meeting at the Gold Coast, as well as our 2-year-old filly Pembrey down in the Magic Night Stakes at Rosehill. Tony, good morning. Another big few days ahead for the stable with not only the racing, but the big Magic Millions March yearling sale today and tomorrow.
Yeah, certainly. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it is a busy week. The team's been down there. Andrew's been pounding the pavements, getting a nice list together with a bunch of people we're going to team up with for this QTIS sale. So we're looking forward to that. That's today, tomorrow. Off to Sydney then for Pembrey. Obviously, she was pretty luckless the other day, and hopefully we can make amends for that. And then we've got the big QTIS Jewel meeting, which is a good meeting. It's great QTIS money for all those QTIS eligible horses to race there for double prize money. Huge. There's 2 QTIS only races for $500,000, and you know that's the reason I think here in Queensland we invest so much into QTIS for these extra incentive races. We've been lucky enough to win the Jewel before. All that pizzazz you were involved in.
Yes,
Matty.
He's a good little fella.
I think Final Crusade's an amazing chance in the 2-year-old on Saturday. So looking forward to a big few days.
Beautiful. And just as we do, we'll look back on last week briefly. Had a couple of nice little winners to round out the day with Blue Spinel. She was certainly had her foot on the till, but good to see her get the win for some really good connections, and Bundella as well. And a really special win up at Toowoomba with Boomelly, ticking off the Tony Gollan Memorial Handicap up there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Second time we've won that now, and I hope Boomelly ends up being as good as the first one. Yeah, Boomtown Boss. He's a lovely horse. So yeah, that was really cool to win that, obviously, for our whole family and whatnot. It was great. So we appreciate Craig Rounceville and his crew letting us take Boomelly up there, Nick Hay. So that was good. The day was okay. It was a little ups and downs. A roller coaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
A roller coaster of a day,
was.
But we finished it off. We finished it off well, and there's some horses out of that meeting I think you can follow. Just didn't find the right spot, and tempo races were pretty messy on the day. So there's horses you'll be able to follow through this off-season racing. Antino, not good at Flemington. Getting him home for hopefully a really good reset for this winter carnival. Try and go back-to-back Doomben Cups with him. So there's a bit to look forward to, obviously here. But let's look forward to this weekend.
Sounds good. Now, just before we get into our preview, we have a winner to announce for the promotion last week with the Dynasty Sport team. The prize was a $200 voucher from Dynasty Sport. And the question was, name a rugby league nation whose national jersey is produced by Dynasty Sport. If you submitted either New Zealand, Fiji, Tonga or Samoa, you were correct. Now, Tony, the winner was randomly drawn, and the winner this week for the competition is
Ben Kirkham. It wouldn't have been me. I would have stuffed that up for sure. So well done, Ben. You know your sport, mate. Well done.
So the team at Dynasty Sport will be in touch with you, Ben. Congratulations there. So now we'll move on to our preview for the weekend. We'll start down at Rosehill in Sydney. The rail's in the true position. Track is currently a soft 6 and mostly fine conditions ahead. We'll jump straight into race 3. Is the Group 3 Magic Night Stakes for the 2-year-old fillies over 1,200 metres. We will have Pembrey. We'll carry 56.5 kilos and James McDonald on board. Drawn barrier 10. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $2.80 for the win and $1.45 for the place. Really good. A huge debut win up here at Eagle Farm. Things just didn't go to plan last start, unfortunately, in the Sweet Embrace, but looking to make amends here on Saturday.
Yeah, and I can't see why she can't. She's settling well to Randwick, staying at our old favourites place. Peter Snowden's down there at Randwick, so she's settled in nicely. She's worked well there on Tuesday morning, and she presents in good order on Saturday. James had the ride on her. He understands her and knows her a lot better now for that ride. And look, what can you say about McDonald? You're at 6 Saturday. It's absolute elite. So I'm not too worried about the gate. I think we just roll forward from the gate. We're either outside lead or 1-1, getting a lovely run on. Speed could lead if we wanted to. It's up to him. It's a bit of a mixed bag of tricks as far as form-wise going into the race. But for me, she looks really well placed. Hold no fears going to Rosehill with her, and she's done very well. So I think she's very well placed and can make amends for all the punters that lost on her 2 weeks ago. Can reload Saturday.
Sounds good. Now we'll move on to our preview of our runners at the $2 million Queensland Jewel Raceday at the Gold Coast. The rail is in the true metre position. The track is currently a soft 7. Some hot weather forecast for today, but possibly a few showers possibly come through tomorrow. How do you think that track is going to play down there, Tony?
I think it'll depend on the showers. It should just keep on improving. It's got great drainage powers on it. We should just get a nice surface, you know. That track has been improving, you know, every few months. Like, it's improved year on year. So I think we'll get a nice track. It's been racing really well. I can't see why we're not looking at the very worst, good to soft.
Beautiful. The first race we will preview is race 2, is the Class 3 plate over 1,200 metres. We will have 4 runners in this race. First of those we will preview is Abender. We'll carry 60 kilos, Ryan Maloney on board, and unfortunately jumped from Barry 16, but will come in a few after scratchings. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $8 for the win and $2.70 for the place. Really good win at Doomben 2 starts ago. It's always running really well. It was a good run after just a poor jump. He's his own worst enemy at times, but looks a decent race for him.
Yeah, it is. The barrier concerns me. I'd love to have drawn a good gate. We saw 2 starts back, I think it was, we drew that good gate. He could jump and just find the back of the speed, and off he went. From the wide draw, it makes it harder. But we're racing for the big QTIS money, so look, he's got to go round. He'll run well. The barrier does worry me.
The next horse we'll preview is Dominant Darcy. We'll carry 58 kilos, Angela Jones on board and jump from barrier 6. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.20 for the win and $1.60 for the place. So a super preparation, has put together back-to-back wins, both at this trip. And last start, she comes up against a few of her rivals from last start as well that she'll see on Saturday. How do you think it sets up for her?
I think pretty good. She's a nice mare. She's a winner. She's found the right race. I mean, when you go to the Gold Coast, you've got to be aware of the locals and a bit horses for coursesy, but she's got that right pattern, hasn't she? She jumps well, she shows good speed. She hasn't got a lead, she can be anywhere in the first 4, and she's got above average ability. So she's already proven that this sort of grade is perfect for her. If we're running at a home track at Doomben, I think she'd be awfully hard to beat, but I still think she is. She gets the right run, she maps well.
Beautiful. The third of our runners we'll preview for this race is Spiethtacular. We'll carry 55 kilos after Chelsea Baker's 3 kilo claim and jump from barrier 5. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $6.50 for the win and $2.40 for the place. She's been in super form as well. This mare led and only just run down late last start of this trip. She's raced well down at the Gold Coast as well. She'll be in it for a long way.
Yeah, she will. She's loved the Gold Coast. We trained her at the Gold Coast yard for some time. She's held up well in the preparation. I think it's like going home for her. I thought she's been really good the last couple of Doomben. She was really good again the other day. She had to come off fence. It all depends how this track plays. There's a little bit of pressure there with King and Minto drawn wider, but I thought she boots up with Chelsea's claim, gets a lovely run. I can't see why she's not right in the finish. I think the best form for this race is at Class 3. We saw a couple of weeks back, and I think she's right in the finish of this.
And the last of our runners for this race is Zoufani. We'll carry 56.5 kilos with CJ Graham on board and jump from barrier 11. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $8 for the win and $2.70 for the place. She comes here third up on Saturday and coming out of a couple of really good races, as we've mentioned, with her stablemates. Just didn't get out in time, but she came to the line huge last start, just to miss in what was a really good finish there.
I thought she could run well again. I love the way we rode her the other day. She jumped well and we just let her come back that little bit. She wasn't far off and she was just on the back of the speed, but she travelled like a winner all the way throughout. It's a little bit tricky here from the draw. I just want to break this race up a touch more, but I thought if she could do that again, she can run really well. I just want to make sure I can get that same sort of run. If not, I might leave her a week for Eagle Farm next week. But she's definitely, this is the right grade for her. Like I said, Maddie, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I think the form from that race a couple of weeks ago is the right form for this. Just want to make sure this mare can get the same run.
Out of those 4, can you split them?
I can't. I think Dominant Darcy, just from where she's drawn, I can see her and Spiethtacular being right there. I think they just mapped to get the right runs. Abender worries me from the draw, and Zoufani's drawn that little bit tricky. We saw that first up and she got posted. I don't want to see that again, so we'll just see what we do with her.
No worries. Next race we will preview is race 4. We will have 2 runners here in the Class 6 plate over 1,400 metres. First of those we will preview is Castillian. We'll carry 58.5 kilos with Angela Jones on board and jump from barrier 5. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $6 for the win and $2.25 for the place. It was a solid run last start over this trip. When second up, will be fitter. Enjoys a good draw. How do you think it sets up for him?
Well, I think Ange suits him.
Yes.
I want to see him ridden further forward. He's got in messy races for him his first couple, a hard track, and then the other day he just got caught into an ordinary spot. I thought his run to the line was still good. I thought he now third up. He builds into his preparation. We saw that with him last time round. He's fit, well, healthy. I think with a more positive ride put up on speed, he can be in the finish. I think this Gold Coast track and trip suits him.
Suits him, yep.
I think he's a big improver.
Beautiful. The next horse we'll preview is Boom Shot. We'll carry 55.5 kilos with Martin Harley back on board and jump from barrier 8. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $4.60 for the win and $1.90 for the place. It was a good run last start, over $13.50. Went also second up. We'll strip even fitter again today and enjoy any sting out of the track there on Saturday.
The sting out of the track's key for him. It's still a soft 7 at the moment, this track, but look, with fine weather, it could improve. If we get a shower, that would help him. I think any soft ground, he can be right in the finish. He can run well. But I've actually got Castillian on top of him. I think Castillian's harder to beat than him. I think he really needs a soft ground Boom Shot.
The next race we'll preview is race 5. It is the open handicap over 1,000 metres. We will have Fleetwood in this race, our little buddy behind us here today. We'll carry 55.5 kilos with Ben Thompson on board and jump from barrier 10. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $5.50 for the win and $2 for the place. Last time he was down at the Gold Coast, he won a race really well, won a similar race down there in December. He's holding his form well, he's been up for a while. But look, how do you think it sets up for him? Gets a couple of kilos off from what he's been running with as well.
Yeah, I think it's well. I think it sets up okay for me. I'd love him to draw it a little bit closer. But I see enough pressure here. If he can be sort of midfield off the back of this speed without being last, I think Ben will sum that up well, then get him into the race. He's got the short sprint. 1,000, I like him, 1,000, 1,100. I think this trip really suits him. If you go back all through his form, this is the trip that really suits this horse. So, look, I think we just try him in midfield, suck up through him and dash late. He can definitely run well. He's well placed. And I think there's enough pressure in this for him.
Lovely. Now, the next race we'll preview is one of the feature races. It is race 6. It is the $500,000 QTIS Jewel for 2-year-olds over 1,200 metres. We'll have Final Crusade in this race. Ryan Maloney will ride and carry 57 kilos, drawn barrier 1. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $4 for the win and $1.75 for the place. It's this well-bred Spirit of Boom colt, just beaten last start over at Eagle Farm over 1,000 metres, where he was probably his own worst enemy there. But sets up here well for him, gets a nice low draw and Ryan Maloney on board.
And I think better suited out to the 1,200. I think the run under his belt will help him. He's been a progressive colt. I really like him. I think my best chance on the card. I love his drawn low. He maps well. He'll be on pace and he'll be thereabouts in the first 3 or 4 and he'll give a good kick. I think he's very hard to beat.
Next race we'll preview is race 7, the Gold Jewel over 1,400 metres. We'll have the notorious Johnny Rambo here. Will carry 52.5 kilos with CJ Graham on board and jump from barrier 5. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $2.90 for the win and $1.28 for the place. Been racing ever consistently, strong second. Last start finishing less than a length in his past 2 starts actually behind the winner, both at this trip. So he's enjoyed stepping out in trip this preparation. Gets a featherweight here and a nice low draw for him.
Should just be able to box seat. Should go bang on the back of the speed. He's ran 2 7-furlong races, good races on a big track. He goes now on a turning track. There's no reason he can't be hard to beat here. He proved he raced well at the Gold Coast. Both his runs over the Magic Millions Carnival were terrific. Provided he's got one left in him, which I think he does. He's up and about, Johnny. This is his chance.
The next race we will preview is race 8. It is the $500,000 QTIS Jewel for the 3-year-olds. Race over 1,200 metres. As mentioned earlier, a race that we won with all that pizzazz. I remember that day like it was yesterday. A beautiful day, and hopefully we can tick off another one this Saturday. So we'll have up to 2 runners in this race. The first of those we will preview is Forgotten Spirit. We'll carry 55 kilos. Angela Jones on board and unfortunately drawn barrier 17. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $7 for the win and $2.60 for the place. She just can't seem to draw a barrier, unfortunately, this filly. Her past 2 starts, she's jumped from double-figure gates. It was a really good hit and run last start over 1,000 metres. How do you think it sets up for her?
Well, I had too much work the other day over 1,000. Got through. She's rounded the line well. I won't ride her as negative as that. I really want to find a midfield spot here on her, even if I'm 3 deep with cover. So it's going to need a hell of a ride from Anne. She knows her well. A good barrier would have been my best mate. Unfortunately, I've got my worst enemy a wide draw, which I didn't really want in this race. But she's going well enough. She's certainly got a run left in her, but the wide draw makes it really hard. In a very even bunch field, I think here. There's many chances in this race.
And we'll just touch on briefly, we do have Boss Mode, who is a 3rd emergency, drawn barrier 13. If he gets a run, CJ Graham will ride and jump from barrier... Sorry, CJ Graham will ride with 57 kilos and jump from barrier 13. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $35 for the win, $8 for the place. He's on the week back up if he does get a run. Ran really well down there last weekend to tick off his maiden. If he does get a run, which is probably a bit of a stretch, how do you think it sets up for him?
Look, I think he's in great shape, the horse. He's off a maiden, but I don't think he'll get a start. I think he maps into an okay position. His blinkers on, big help to him, and he's in form, but look, he probably won't get a run. We can find easier.
The next race we will preview is race 9. It is the Military Rose Plate for fillies and mares over 1,200 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. Zoubaby is the first we'll preview. Will carry 55.5 kilos with Daniel Moore on board and jump from barrier 3. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $3.70 for the win and $1.70 for the place. She was close. A good win 2 starts back before a strong second last start over 1,100 metres. Gets back to fillies and mares grade here over 1,200. How do you think it sets up for her?
I think she sets up pretty well for Zoubaby here. The low draw is really important. We need better barrier luck than what we had last time at the Gold Coast where things went skew-if, but Dan knows her well. She's been in her best behaviour. Her next 2 runs have been brilliant, you know. She just should, at 1,200, no worries with getting the trip because she's breathing really well, she's relaxing nicely. I can't see her being too far back than third pair. Just sort of on the back of that tempo and just sort of sucking up, and she's got a devastating turn of foot when she lets go, and I think possibly the sharpest horse in this race.
And the second runner we'll preview is Gospel Girl. Will carry 55.5 kilos with Martin Harley on board and jump from barrier 12. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $9 for the win and $2.90 for the place. She's on the week back up after a strong third at this same trip at Eagle Farm with a big weight. Drops a few kilos here. It is a tricky draw and on the week back up, but she's running for that extra QTIS money, so be mad not to give her a crack at it. How do you think it sets up for her?
I think she races well. She races better outside horses than inside anyway. I can't see why she couldn't be outside leader 1-1. I think we roll forward here with the 55.5 compared to the 60 last week. She gets a lovely run on speed. I think Marty will suit her. He rides in great form. I think we find the spot I think we can. She can run well, but the other mare, to me, she looks like she's going to get the best run behind them, and she's very hard to beat. Zoubaby,
And the last race we'll preview is race 10. It is the Gold Coast Stakes over 1,800 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this race. First of those we'll preview is Queen Air. Will carry 52 kilos. Angela Jones on board and jump from barrier 6. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $23 for the win and $6 for the place. She's been a little bit disappointing. Her 2 runs back from a break. She's working really well here at home. We'll enjoy getting to the 1,800 metres now, and a track that she's won at and run well at before.
Yeah, I'm sick of saying she'll run better than the odds, but I do think she will. I think the other day we end up back last and pulled her head off, and I think she's just got to find that happy spot and that happy rhythm. Ange can do that. She's got a very light weight in the back, and if she can relax on the back of the speed, she can run well, really well.
The second horse we'll preview is Felix's Scat. Will carry 52 kilos with Mark Duplessis on board and jump from barrier 4. Early odds with Ladbrokes are $8 for the win and $2.45 for the place. Here's another one on the week back up after an okay run last weekend at Eagle Farm at this trip, but drops 8 kilos in weight, so should enjoy getting that weight off his back on Saturday.
Yeah, and he's drawn good. I can't see why. Mark will be able to jump, just let him get into a lovely position and then get moving when he wants to, just make his run with 52. So he's on the quick back up. He has a month between runs into his last start. He presents well. He wants better track, and I think the weather forecast is for better ground. Both these horses will handle good ground, and they're both lightweights and in a very, very open race for mine. I mean, $5 is a favourite. Demon Darb, who's a wet tracker. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think both horses are well placed, both over the odds. Gun to my head, I'm going to go Queen Air.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And now we'll move on to the final furlong of the Final Gallop. Tony, who's your best Metro winning chance on Saturday?
I'm going to go Final Crusade.
Final Crusade, lovely.
Yep.
And best each way?
Castillian.
Castillian, beautiful. And Tony, we'll have not a big team at the Provincials. We'll have a few out at Ipswich and possibly one up at Toowoomba. Anything for the punters to follow out at the Provincials?
I think we stick with Ipswich. And them 2 girls have been riding for us there, doing a bloody good job. So I can see Secret Cypher improving if we get a run with the blinkers on. He can improve, but for me, Heroic Rebel. I thought his first up run was terrific. Going out to the mile now, he's bang on.
Beautiful. And we had a big week of track work this week. Unfortunately, the trials were washed out this week. We'll head towards next week, so it'll be a big day on Tuesday with the trials. But anything catch your eye at track work this week?
Well, we worked them all here in a pretty wet morning, so it was just a key. They're all fit horses, they're all up and already going. Final Crusade, I thought the improvement was there. Reports on Pembrey, Tommy Berry galloped her at Randwick. Pete Snowden is in charge, a pretty good man to have in charge down there. Very happy with her. So for me, it's the 2 2-year-olds this weekend again, Pembrey and Final Crusade.
Beautiful. And now it is time for Cavs Corner for this week, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group as always. He had the weight on both his horses last week with Martis and About to Explode, both getting pipped for second by small margins. We'll see if he reverts back to a bit of a safer place multi. So we'll head over to Cavs Corner and see what he's got for us this week.
Welcome to Cavs Corner for this week. We were very unlucky last week. Anyway, this week we will travel to the Gold Coast and we'll go Dominant Darcy a win, into Castillian a place. Good punting, guys.
So Tony, Cav has gone Dominant Darcy for a win,
like
Castillian for a place.
I like it. I like his multi. I do. You could go place that as well and still make a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good multi.
Beautiful.
I'm not sticking with Cav. He's in atrocious form. Then again, my best was odds on last week and got beat, so yeah, it was what it was.
Hopefully we can all bounce back this weekend. Look, Tony, good luck for the weekend, obviously, with Pembrey down at Rosehill and also a big team at the Gold Coast and also the sales coming up over the next couple of days. Busy week as always, but it looks to be hopefully a fruitful weekend for all of us.
Yeah, it will be, and don't forget to get in touch with Andrew and the team here in the office if you want to get involved in these QTIS horses, because they will sell out quick. They'll be bought at the right price points. What this sale is all about, value for money, getting horses, trying to buy them for this much so we can win this much with them. That's what we want to do. So get in touch with the team, get in early because they will sell out quick.
Beautiful. Good luck, punters. Cheers.